John Morse. Ordinary people. Ordinary people, John Morse.
Madam Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters, guests, how many of you consider yourselves average, regular, ordinary people? How many of you fit into that category? I know I do. I will never be on America's Got Talent. I will never be a member of the Olympic team, and I will never climb Mount Everest. Well, I'm working on Mount Everest. However, ordinary people have the ability to do extraordinary things. I want you to consider the 1954 World Series of Baseball. The series was played between the Cleveland Indians and the New York Giants. The Cleveland Indians won a remarkable 111 games that year, set a record. The Giants won the pennant by 5 games. Both teams were loaded with talent. The best hitter in the National League was Willie Mays, a Giant. The best hitter in the American League was Bobby Avila. He was from the Indians. The Indians placed 4 people: Bob Lemon, Bob Feller, Early Wynn, and Larry Doby, the first black player in the American League ever. They placed all 4 in the Hall of Fame of baseball. The Giants had 3 players who made the Hall of Fame. And those people were Willie Mays, Monty Irvin, and the third person was Hoyt Wilhelm, a knuckleballing relief pitcher. With all that talent, this was going to be a fantastic, wonderful World Series. The stars, though, didn't shine during that World Series. They weren't the #1 main attraction, because a young man, an unremarkable player, a bench player, a terrible fielder, a person who never started a game ever in the major leagues, or very rarely did he ever start, was the man who came to reach that extraordinary level. That man is Dusty Rhodes. In 1954, Dusty Rhodes had 3 of the most remarkable games ever for a player who was totally unknown. Game 1. The Giants and the Indians were tied at the end of 9 innings. At the bottom of the 10th, Leo DeRocher, the manager of the Giants, called upon Dusty Rhodes, and he came up with 2 men on base, hit, wow, a 3-run home run, game over. Game 2, the 3rd inning. Leo DeRocher said, "I need a pinch hitter." He called on Dusty Rhodes. He hit a single, driving in 2 runs. That wasn't enough for him, because 3 innings later, he came up again, and what did he do? He hit another home run. Game 3, Dusty Rhodes again, a pinch hitter, borderline ball player, came up, and when he was called upon to pinch hit, again, got a single, 2 RBIs. No one could ever imagine this man rising to this level. It was such an extraordinary event. No one ever could have thought that this guy, who was really a nobody, could do it. After that game and after that World Series, he spent a few more years in the major leagues, 4 or 5, really pretty unremarkable years. He ended his career in the minor leagues for 2 years. Then, because baseball players didn't make any money, he went to work. And he worked for 25 years as a tugboat captain on the Hudson River. Dusty Rhodes. Here he is, an ordinary guy doing extraordinary things. And if you think for a minute about how you can do extraordinary things, if you think that you're just living an ordinary life, you might consider the story of Dusty Rhodes, a person who did extraordinary things for 3 fantastic days, a person who was named and awarded baseball's Babe Ruth Award for the outstanding player in that World Series. If you think about it, consider this. Every one of us has the ability to do extraordinary things. Every one of us has the skill to do extraordinary things. And you know what? You just never know when your opportunity will come up. Madam Contest, thank you.